walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly, so you can see what it looks like. Right then, while it's loading, this is Sega GT on the Sega Dreamcast. Now what can I tell you about this? It is pretty much Sega's take on, whoops, wrong button. Sega's take on Gran Turismo on the Dreamcast. I played this last night because I knew it wasn't something you can just pick up and play instantly, but I had no idea how far from that it would be. And by that I mean passing the first license. You've got quick race options, but if you want to go into championship mode, just like on Gran Turismo, you've got to pass some licenses. Fine, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is on the very first license, the easy one. It takes half an hour, or it took me half an hour to get round this circuit, and it was an easy circuit, just an oval, pretty much. It took me half an hour to get around it fast enough to get the license, to be able to buy a cheap shit piece of junk car, to be able to play the very first races. Not right at all. I mean, I accept that licenses are there to get you to learn to drive properly, so to speak. You know, you can't just go bashing into the walls here, there and everywhere. You've got to be able to play it just a little bit. Fine, I don't have a problem with that. But on the easy license, the first one you've got to pass before you can do anything at all, for it to be so hard. Now, I'm no slouch at racing games, despite what you might see when I play these videos. I am pretty good at racing games. And if it's taking me half an hour just to get the easy license, I dread to think what the later ones are going to be like, and that to me is a mistake. I understand Sega's gaming histories in the arcades, and a lot of their games on the home consoles are kind of arcade style. Sega Rally, Daytona USA, they're arcade based. It's acceptable for them to be rock hard because the whole idea of arcade games was to get you pumping the money in. But this is basing itself on Gran Turismo, whether they would like to admit that or not. And the idea of that is depth, to keep you, give you lots to do and spend a long time doing it. So to make it so bloody hard that you can't even get the first license to drive anywhere at all without putting in a lot of effort, that to me is a mistake. That is my first impression of the game. The balance, the difficulty level on the very first license, I haven't even tried the other licenses yet, it was too bloody hard, and that ruined the experience for me straight away. Everything that followed, it just has me ready to hate it. I haven't played it enough to form an opinion about the rest of it yet, because I spent so much time just trying to get that first license. I did a couple of these races. The style of it, forgetting about the little rant now, the license rant, the rest of the game is very, very much Gran Turismo. The thing about this, it was out, the competition when this came out would have been Gran Turismo 2, which is massive and fantastic. So how does this stack up against that? Well, graphically, obviously, it's higher resolution and more detailed, but it's got this nasty anti-aliasing thing, I assume that's what it is anyway, going on, that it makes it all look very fuzzy and smeary and nasty, that I don't like. And there's definitely some kind of interlace mode going on here, or something. You won't be seeing the effects watching it on my YouTube channel, but there's some kind of, I can only assume it's interlaced. It's kind of a flickery something that looks weird. And I don't know if that's just on PAL versions of the game or if it does that on NTSC ones as well. There's something very odd about it, and that's like coupled with the fuzziness that you get an amount of with Dreamcast games as standard. Whether that's low resolution textures or if they have got some hardware anti-aliasing going on. I'm not that familiar with the Dreamcast hardware. Did they have hardware anti-aliasing? Couldn't tell you, but whatever. What it does for me, and my eyes are not the best, I find it actually makes it hard to see what's coming up on the circuit. It might be higher resolution and higher detail and everything than Gran Turismo 2 on the PS1, but on that you can see what's coming. On here, in all honesty, I can't see the entrance to the corners a lot of the time. It's like I know there's a corner coming, but I can't see it. I don't like that. In terms of character of circuits, this one is this circuit has no character whatsoever, in my opinion. There's nothing to recommend it at all. It's utterly bland. I have played a circuit on here that I did like. It was a nighttime city thing. It looked a little bit like the Tokyo circuit you get in Gran Turismo 3 and 4 and whatever else, and that looks quite nice. So yes, also like Gran Turismo, you've got all the tuning options and the car buying malarkey and whatever. You start the game with only enough money to buy a second-hand car, which is a bit disheartening. I'm driving a Suzuki Cappuccino. Yeah, it's all right. You can tweak them. I've tweaked this. I bought a few bits. I always skip qualifying. I can't be bothered with qualifying. But yeah, it is. It's absolutely. I mean, pretty much everything you would find in early Gran Turismos, like 1 and 2, you will find here. The way all of the options and tuning things and shops, whatever, are laid out and how you find them is much the same as Gran Turismo, i.e. a bit of a mess, a bit confusing, not necessarily obvious what you can do where. Being used to Gran Turismo, this is the circuit I was on about. I like this one, visually at least. Yeah, the fact that it was a bit of a cluttered mess didn't really bother me. I'm used to that. In fact, in a way, it was kind of it felt familiar, so I kind of like that aspect. Sod off. Car handling, well, apart from the car I did the license in, this is the only car I've driven, and the handling is pretty ropey, to be honest. It's not as nice as the handling in Metropolis Street Racer, not by a long shot. This thing wallows about all over the place. It's very skittish. Yeah, doesn't feel especially realistic. It just isn't very nice. But that could just be this car. But you don't expect a dinky little 600 kilo Suzuki thing with a 600cc engine to wallow about like a super tanker, and it does. That can't be right. It's like a skateboard on a pogo stick, really. Whilst racing round a jelly bowl, something like that. It's not good, but I like this circuit. It's pretty. It's not actually like the Tokyo circuit so much. It's like the special stage 5, and what's the other one? Special Stage 9? Something like that, I can't remember. Nighttime circuits, Gran Turismo 1, 2, something like that. I can't remember how many it appeared in. I really have a problem with chevrons like those. This is totally me, this is no criticism of the game. When I see chevrons pointing you to go in a certain direction, my brain just goes, duh, and can't work out if it's pointing to the left or the right, and I don't know why. Probably need to see a neurologist. Wouldn't want to live in a place like this. Oh! They do know how to get a car sliding. Again, oh, something this is missing that Gran Turismo has, that I love and miss on here, is that gear indicator thing that tells you what gear to be in when you go into a corner. And it occurred to me actually, the first time I ever came across that, and I wonder if Gran Turismo was influenced by it, was Formula 1, Jeff Crammond's Formula 1 Grand Prix. That had that as a drive race, the recommended gear. I think any racing game now that doesn't have that is missing a trick, because it makes a game, yes, it's easy, you don't have it in real life, it's not realistic, but bollocks to that, it makes it so much more fun, because you don't have to totally memorize the course to be able to get around it in a half decent time. I mean, you're not going to be like completely acing every circuit, but if you're kind of conservative about it and maybe go in, it's how I do it with Gran Turismo, I take the indicated or the recommended gear and go in one lower, revving the knackers off it, and you know you're going to get round it. And usually, if, you know, you won't be setting a record time, but it's usually enough to make the necessary progress. Here, well, I'm just taking best guess, and that's why I'm in fourth. Yeah, I'm going to be uploading this at a higher resolution. It won't actually be native resolution because my my camera isn't at high definition, but I'm going to be uploading in high definition because doing that seems to get rid of some of the nasty interlace effects I've been getting since using this new software. So we're going to give that a go. It's going to be a bloody massive file. Take a while to upload. You better have a nice big, well, it'd probably look better on a big telly or something, maybe, who knows. You might notice a difference, you might not. I'll certainly notice it when editing and uploading. Final round? No, that was it, wasn't it? Exit. Duh. I made a bit of money. I have 3,800 credits. Do you want to see the... Do I want to go to the tuning bit? No, can't be bothered. I'm on a bit of a negative thing with this game. I got so annoyed with the how bloody hard it was just to get the easy license that I can't get enthusiastic about it. Okay, there you have it. Sega GT on the Dreamcast. I will say I've played Sega GT 2 on the Xbox, and I like that a lot. It's significantly better than this. There's a video of that knocking around on my channel somewhere. I might link to it if I can find it. Okay, thank you for watching.